Oh, yeah! It's Nerdvana right here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. My name is Justin Greenberg. I'm here with Joe Ritter, and we are talking all things nerdy. And we're not going to do the bed music that we normally have because I was never a fan of it, to be honest. What about you, Joe?
Oh, sorry, you caught me when I was away from the microphone. Yeah, I like the bed music. I think it's good.
I don't know. When I think of listening to podcasts or any radio talk show, there's no bed music. I guess that makes us different.
Yeah, I guess so.
We are different.
We're different in different ways than that.
Yeah.
More unique ways than one.
I have a tale.
Yeah. Like a story or like...
No, an actual tale.
I'll tell you, like I have a tale like a story.
No. A physical tale.
Okay. That's fair.
Want to see it?
Sure.
Want to touch it?
It can touch me. I won't touch it.
It's in the front of my pants, though.
All
right.
Quit.
I have a tailbone, though.
Everyone has one of those.
Well, I don't know.
What do you mean, everyone?
I think we need to test and
I think
see
you know what we should talk to? We should talk to the natural nurse. She'll tell us.
If everyone has a tailbone?
Yeah. Yes.
When's she on? Who's the natural nurse?
Great questions. All of them. You can find out at...
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere you can find out.
Probably, crap.
nccradio.org. I'm sure that'll show something.
If you go there at some time during the week. I think it's Ellen Kamai.
Yes, I believe so.
That's my guess. We work at this radio station,
everybody. Tuesdays at 10 p.m.
No, it's earlier than that. Like maybe like 3:30.
Yeah, that sounds right. 3:30.
Tuesdays at 3:30. I'm gonna find this. I'm gonna find out who's the national
Tuesdays at 3:30. Herbally yours. Sean just texted me that.
Yeah, see, I told you.
I knew it. All right, so let's talk some things. Got a lot of big news. The biggest news this week was clearly the Disney and Fox merger was, approved. Disney and Fox shareholders voted Friday to approve the Walt Disney Company's $71.3 billion purchase of 21st Century Fox.
Yeah.
A deal that would add numerous big-name entertainment properties to Disney's ever-growing portfolio. The merger will see the creation of new Fox, so I like that, and the separation agreement that transfers to the company assets Disney won't be involved with, namely a portfolio of 21st Century Fox News, sports, and broadcast businesses, including Fox News Channel, Fox Business Network, Fox Broadcasting Company, Fox Sports, Fox Television Stations Group, and Sports Cable Networks, FS1, FS2, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I'm just reading this now, but it looks like 20th Century Fox retains all media assets not transferred to New Fox, including the 20th Century Fox film and television studios, home properties like Avatar and The Simpsons that will now be Disney-owned, and certain cable and international television businesses, channels like FX and FXX. So this just opens the doors to a whole bunch of stuff. So basically, from what I could gather, Fox is still going to keep the Fox News. They're still going to keep the Fox Sports. But everything else goes to Disney. That includes their television shows, things like The Simpsons and Family Guy.
Fox 5 going to Disney? No, right? Fox 5 is still going to be Fox, I believe.
I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. I didn't do too much research.
I'm gonna say I think Fox 5, like the local channels, are gonna stay with Fox, just simply because then there's a lot of things on those local Fox channels like the Fox 5 and the Fox that that are they're big money. Like, look at, we're going to talk about during the Squared Circle, probably mention it, SmackDown Live just signed $1 billion deal at Fox, to put it on Fox 5. I don't think they'd make that deal and then sell it to Disney.
No, yeah, that's definitely, yes.
Yeah, there's no way they would make a deal like that and be like, all right, Disney can keep it. Like
now, are you a fan of Disney owning this? Because I just want to go over all the properties that Disney just got. So they got Avatar, the highest grossing movie of all time. They got X-Men. And first of all, and there's going to be 4 more Avatar movies from the year 2020 to 2025.
Which, honestly, think about it. Now Disney owns the movies and they have the theme park rights. You're going to see, Avatar's going to blow up all at Disney.
This really ticks me off, and we're going to get into it in a little bit.
You don't like this?
I just want to read everything that they get, and then we'll get into why I'm not a fan of it.
Okay.
They also get the X-Men. They get Deadpool. They get the Fantastic Four. They get The Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, King of the Hill, Bob's Burgers.
This is Family Guy. This is Family Guy.
I know. I don't know where that F went. Get the F out, as they used to say in the WWE when they switched to the F. Oh, well, they switched to the WWE. Alien and Predator, The X-Files.
The X, really?
American Horror Story, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, wow.
Ice Age, Rio, and Blue Sky Studios, so all those animated films. Home Alone, Miracle on 34th Street, The Sound of Music, Planet of the Apes, and Fox Searchlight Pictures.
The Sound of Music?
Well, yeah, because that was a Fox entity.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I'll tell you why. First of all,
why you don't like it? Because you aren't a fan of this.
What I am a fan of is the Marvel properties going to be able to combine with the Marvel entities that Disney already owns. I would love to see, and we've gone over it a bunch of times, so there's no point of talking about it again, but everyone wants to see the X-Men, Doctor Doom, the Fantastic Four, Silver Surfer, Galactus.
I think this comes at a perfect time also for these Marvel movies, because think about it. What's gonna happen next year, which apparently also April 4th is Infinity War 2 or
whatever it's called.
They were saying Infinity Gauntlet might be the name of the movie. That was something that was leaked by a member of Guardians of the Galaxy, which also huge news. Zoe Saldana.
Oh, she's a babe.
Yeah, which we're going to talk about them too. Huge stuff going on with them. But that's supposed to be April 4th next year. So this comes at a perfect time because, you know, the big bad guy we've been building up to for 10 years now, they're gonna beat him. There's no way you can't beat Thanos.
Of course.
You know, he's gonna be defeated, be vanquished. Maybe he'll show up, you know, years down the line. But now that you've acquired the X-Men, right? You've acquired the X. This is the big one. The X-Men they are the most highest grossing comic book series, I believe, of all time. The X-Men. I believe that they are comic books, like they're actual comic books. I know the Fantastic Four are the longest. Were the originals, I believe, or like the longest running one.
As far as Marvel goes?
Yes, I'm talking just Marvel.
Yeah, well, obviously Captain America was from the early 40s, but it took a hiatus in the 50s.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Fantastic Four has continued to be published continuously. So I think Fantastic Four is the longest running continuous comic book, and I believe the X-Men is the highest earning comic book of all time.
That wouldn't surprise me. X-Men were huge, not only in the 60s, but a big resurgence in the 90s and all throughout the 2000s with the movies that came out.
Even still, they're good or bad, they're still making money and they're still around. They're still relevant in comic books. So I believe that those are like the landmarks for those two. The X-Men is the highest earning for Marvel, and Fantastic Four being the longest continuous ones.
Well, yeah, the Fantastic Four is, the story of the Fantastic Four is so great. Basically, Stan Lee was going to leave Marvel. He worked there since the 40s, maybe even the late 30s, and he was just fed up. Nothing was going right for the company Marvel. They weren't even called Marvel at the time. I think they were still Timely Comics, and he was just going to leave. And his wife said, why don't you just create the comic that you want to create, and if that doesn't work, then you could leave, but create something that you want to create. And that happened to be the Fantastic Four, and it became a huge hit. And then after that, Iron Man, Thor, X-Men, all those things followed suit. But if it wasn't for the Fantastic Four, Marvel wouldn't be Marvel. So it's great to have it back with the other characters now.
Right, and it comes, I think, at a perfect time.
I think
because,
so too.
You're going to end this Thanos saga, and then if you really want to, which I think it would be the smartest idea to, just slowly throw these characters, push them all together. Maybe after Thanos is defeated, make it known that, because they kind of touched upon it with that awful series of, what's it called? The People in the Sky. Not the Outsiders. What are they called? You know what I'm talking about?
Nope.
They're supposed to be like mutants that
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. From the X-Men movies?
No, the one guy that can shout so loud that he can kill people, and the woman that's hair is super long. Come on, they made a whole IMAX series, and it was awful. They have like the dog, the time traveling dog.
Oh yeah. The Defenders?
No, not the Defenders.
I think it was the No, it's something like the Inhumans.
The Inhumans.
Yeah.
Right. So like you can say like maybe after Thanos is defeated, you can use the Inhumans.
I don't
but like use them as a bridge to be like, listen, there are mutated humans now in the world, and you can then bring the X-Men into the fold and be like, yo, we've been around a long time and just no one's noticed us, and slowly build them into the story. With that also, you can put the Fantastic Four, that they were, testing with stuff, and then that whole thing happened with them. And then with the Fantastic Four, we have the Silver Surfer, we have Galactus that we can bring in, Doctor Doom with the X-Men. There's so much that now there's so many more enemies, these big bads, because Galactus is probably one of the biggest bads, second to Thanos. And as far as power goes, Thanos and Galactus are almost rivals in comic books.
Yeah.
Because Galactus is like eating worlds, and Thanos is like trying to kill everybody. Mm-hmm. So they're like right there as far as, importance of how evil they are or how bad they are.
I would say the big bad guy in the Marvel Universe, there's two that really jump to mind, and they're both going to be there because Doctor Doom, he is the Marvel villain that most people think of. In my opinion, they even based Darth Vader, a lot of his traits, including his mask and just his mannerisms. There's really cool shots of Vader that they use in Empire Strikes Back that are essentially directly ripped from panels of the pages of the Fantastic Four. So Doom you get, and then Magneto, who is probably the most interesting of all the Marvel villains.
Magneto is a great character because it's so back and forth. He's a good guy and he's a bad guy. He's a good guy, he's a bad guy. You empathize with him, but he's bad, but you think he's doing the right thing. He's a great villain. For me, when you look at the comic books, the big bads I think would be like Thanos, Galactus, and even to an extent Ultron when done in the right way, but they kind of destroyed Ultron really quickly. Ultron becomes this kind of force that takes over. He kind of takes over the galaxy at one point, to the point that Tony Stark has to go to space to try to stop him, because he's become so large in the galaxy. So, like, the characters like that, who are just straight up evil, there's nothing redeemable about those guys. Even though with Thanos, they made him very human in the movies, which I think is great. Galactus is not really redeemable. He wants to eat worlds to become stronger.
Yeah, I couldn't sit here and tell you I know much about these characters. I mean, I know their designs. I know simple things about them. Like, I know Galactus created the Silver Surfer, or basically the Silver Surfer was his servant.
That's it's his harbinger.
Yeah,
he sends the Silver Surfer to planets to see if they're like worth conquering or eating, and the Silver Surfer will go back and tell him, like, yeah, you should go to Earth and try to eat it.
And then obviously the Silver Surfer turns on his master. Which, I listen, there's a lot of ways they could go about this. And by the way, you're listening to Nerdvana right here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. I'm Justin Greenberg, joined with Joe Ritter. And we could talk about this for a while, and we're going to, because I have a lot more things to discuss about this. Ways that the characters could be introduced, different franchises that I'm kind of upset that are bought by Disney, and we're talking the Fox and Disney merger went through for over $70 billion. Disney acquired the rights, and it was the shareholders voted Friday to approve the purchase of 21st Century Fox and a whole bunch of its properties along with it. And what they're not getting is the Fox News, the Fox Sports, and we could gather maybe like Fox 5.
Yeah, like the local channels, I would say they're not going to get either. But, I mean, for me, I really like this because, Disney has been really good with their movies. Very few duds besides like maybe like A Wrinkle in Time, which is just, that movie wasn't made to be a movie. That was made basically all political on that basically. It's like a treasured book that people loved and made it all politics, which is terrible. When you look at some of these other movies, they're great, Black Panther is one that became very political, but they didn't make it to say, oh, let's be political. No, they made it because Black Panther's an awesome character, and they wanted to introduce him in a great way.
It had some good, social issues as well.
They mentioned some of these things, which is great, but they mentioned it in a way that is different to everyone else, which is very interesting to me. And I like the way they did it. They didn't force it down your throat. They didn't force it down your throat like, oh, we're from Africa, so we're treated differently. Ha ha ha. Like, no, they didn't just snidely mention that. They meant they did it in other ways.
Yeah, they did it in a good way.
They did it in a way that's natural, a way that you can see, and it doesn't like scream like here comes a political message.
Yeah,
it was like, oh, I get what they mean there. If you think about it, you get it.
Yeah.
But what I don't like about this, I love most of it, but what I don't like is what's going to happen now until